Hey everyone, welcome back to Homegrown Passion. Beautiful spring day, nice breeze, and you can see behind me we have a huge project that we're working on, and it has to do with my outdoor hydroponic strawberries. So stay tuned and I'll tell you what we're doing. So let me give you some history of what happened. Last winter we had a really hard freeze and then a heavy rain and it flooded and then it froze again. And what that did was make all my ledger boards pop up and pop away from the greenhouse. I was getting air gaps and I could see daylight underneath my plastic, and we wanted to get it fixed and fix it right before we went ahead and did this whole area behind me to put our outdoor strawberries. So we used our mini excavator with the trenching bucket attachment and dug the trench all along the greenhouse so we can get to this board and see what damage is done and see if we can get it popped back down. The first problem we encountered was the board that was up here in the front of the greenhouse was all rotten. So much for ground contact pressure treated wood. Didn't work. I mean, the whole thing is just totally rotten and had ants in it, so I'm so glad to get rid of it. So when we rebuild the bottom ledger board here, we're going to change it up from when we first built the greenhouse. We're going to do some concrete anchors into the slab here, and then we're going to use pipe clamps and put tech screws in each one of the posts all the way down the greenhouse. So hopefully, and I think it will, hold that ledger board down for another 10 years. It's so nice and shady on this side of the greenhouse. We're going to keep working really hard before the sun comes down and beats on us. And once we get all the ledger boards in place, we got 20 tons of washed river rock to refill this ditch in, and then we're going to spread all this out, like I said, to put the area, make it nice and level for my new strawberry production area. Had to take a quick run up to Crop King to get some new quick lock. When we went to take the old plastic off and to pop the locking channels away from each other, they got all twisted and mangled. We wanted to make sure that since we're putting brand new plastic up on the ledger boards, we want to make sure the new quick lock was installed also. So when the plastic's on there, it's all nice and tight and we don't have to worry about it. So next thing we have to do is put the base of the quick lock onto the ledger board, and we're using tech screws. Going to put 2 in each one of the pieces. They're 10-foot pieces just to get it up in place, and then we're going to come back through and put one of these every foot so it's really attached well and we don't have to worry about it moving around. Well, I was hoping to get the plastic replaced today, but the weather's not cooperating. It's really breezy out and there's a chance of thunderstorms, and with the greenhouse being 130 feet long, I don't feel like fighting with that big of plastic in the wind. So we're going to put this project on hold. It looks like next week we should have some better conditions. So in the meantime, we're buttoning up the old plastic so the greenhouse is safe and sound, and I'm going to install my Dosatrons in the high tunnel for my strawberries. Let's head over to the high tunnel and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the Dosatrons. First thing I'm going to do is connect the suction hoses to get the nutrients out of each one of the barrels. So take this apart. This up through here. A little slippery. There we go. Get that screwed back on. And then, like everything else, you need a filter on it. So let's get the filter on there. Okay, one's ready, got 2 more to do. So I'm going to sweep this up real quick, clean it up a little bit before I put the barrels back. All this debris over the winter time. Here's my last barrel. Need to get another hinge kit because I didn't have one to put on this guy like I did the other ones. So, get them all in place. Get them nice and level. A couple little plastic things in here I need to throw away, but get them filled up with water and they'll be ready for nutrients. I'm going to fill up the nutrient barrels with water, and since we have city water, it's ice cold coming out of the tap, and it does have some chlorine, so I have to let it sit and agitate for a little bit. And it's better when it warms up because it's so much easier to dissolve the nutrients when you put them in and stir them. It just makes it easier. And I have my 3 tanks. I have my A, which is my macro, my B, which is my micronutrients, and then C, which is my pH adjust. While the nutrient barrels are filling up with water, I'd like to show you my strawberries we have growing. I know I've shown them to you before, but I wanted to let you know I've harvested in the past 3 weeks 87 pounds. And I looked at my notes from last year, and all of last year I harvested 800 pounds. So just in 2 weeks I've already gotten 10% of what I harvested last year. And what a difference the 2-year-old plants make in production compared to bare root crowns when you put them in. So I'm really excited to see what my numbers are going to be like at the end of the season. I did lose some of my plants when I tried to overwinter them and replace them with new bare root stock. So these guys are not producing yet, and I'm going to snap off all flowers until I get 5 nice leaves on here, because you want to make sure you have a nice big crown before you let them produce fruit. Here's our timer for the strawberries. We water 4 times a day. We do it at 9 in the morning, 12, 3, and 6 p.m. And in the beginning of the season, right now in May, we do it for about 8 minutes each one of those times. And then as the days get longer and it gets hotter out, we boost it up to about 14 minutes and then back it back down in the fall. So got to get this program and get it ready to go. So once we get the nutrients in, the water will be flowing through, and then we'll hook up our Blue Lab Guardian and make sure my pH and my EC are right. The EC is 1.2. It's a really good one for strawberries. You don't want it too high because it burns their roots. And then the pH they like is about 6.0. Always something to be fixed on the farm between the greenhouse and the equipment. So here we have the skid steer. Springtime, everything's drying up, so we decided to take the tracks off. After we got the tracks off, we're taking a look at the skid steer, and the one front wheel was a little cockeyed. We're like, uh-oh, something's wrong there. So Doug decided to take off the wheel and the wheel hub and take it apart, and the outside bearing was blown. So we have it on order, and in the meantime, we got the skid steer in pieces parts here, ready to be repaired, like always. But, you know, it's a good thing Doug knows how to fix everything. Otherwise, I don't know where I would be without him. Well, walking through my strawberries, looks like I need to harvest again tomorrow. How exciting, love that. So I'm gonna end the video here. Next week, hopefully the weather cooperates and we'll be able to get a video up of installing the new plastic on the side of the greenhouse and show you more on the Dosatrons. So like always, leave me questions, comments, and suggestions down below, and we'll see you guys next video.